And hello, Orville Nation. Yeah, some problems starting out, but here we go, guys. Let's talk some Picard.
Shy.
Come on in, folks. Welcome. Don't be shy. Good to see you all. Yes, I know. The first thing you guys are going to be thinking is, yeah, he looks really strange. Yeah, I got major lighting issues here where I am. So forgive me. Yeah, it's a little strange. But yeah, good to see all of you guys. Good to see all of you guys. Yeah, you know, the reason I have that music so loud is to scare the crap out of Dr. O. That's the only reason I have it. The only reason I have that music so loud. Good to see everybody, guys. Oh, wait, what happened? Okay. Let's see who's in here. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. John Sapola, good to see you, John Sapola. I hope that arcade room is working out. Hey, good to see you, Medallion. Professor Brainy Specs. Yes, and again, Lydia, I think you're in and out. Thank you for saying hi. Philip Gaming, Star Trek and Orville actor, Philip Gaming. I haven't seen you yet, Philip. I haven't seen you yet. That's right. I don't think I'll see. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to see you yet. Yeah. Good to see you, John DeMarco. Good to see you, my friend. Bill Barkley. Hey, peeps. Good to see you. LDG. Good to see you, LDG. Maria Tiantelli, our faithful sidekick. Actually, I'm her sidekick, but you know, who's counting? Let's see. I just want to say hello to everybody who's in here. Donnie Pearson, good to see you, Donnie Pearson. Dr. Omega, Dr. Omega's in here. Medallion, Sci-Fi Mombi. Mike Classic Lou Reviews. Actually, when you wrote this, Medallion, I was thinking, I always think about Back to the Future. You're just too darn loud. Yep. Marty's band. Hey, Captain Robert April, good to see you. Kapla, Bird of Prey. Kapla, Bird of Prey. Troy Pacelli. Kapla to you too. These are two Klingon fanatics right here. I wonder what I like to hear your thoughts on Worf. On this Worf, Troy and Bird of Prey, being as you guys are two Klingon fanatics. And don't forget, guys, to put in your channels. Mike, go ahead. Don't forget to put in your channel. Oh, Maria, thank you, Maria, for all you do for the community. Oh, I don't. Yeah, well, thank you, Maria. Thank you, my friend. That is very nice. Thank you for the super chat. You guys. I hope. By the way, Maria's gonna she's gonna have a 2K celebration real soon. Well, hopefully we'll learn more about that. It looks pretty darn good. Oh, I think to me it doesn't look good. It looked weird. I have this like black aura around me. It's like I have a like a shadow person behind me. Look at that. Look, Donnie. It's like I have a shadow person literally shadowing me behind me. Literally shadowing me. It's weird. I'll fix it. Um Not as many lighting issues as Picard. Oh, damn, John. Um, just like Star Trek Picard. Okay, everybody's thinking. Hello, Sandra. Hello, and hello to Raymond if he is around. Good to see you. Oh, listening at work. Okay. Well, I hope it makes your workday a little lighter. Yeah, brighter than Picard. Well, of course, we are in the ready room, in Captain Mercer's ready room here. All generations started. I won't expect final season Discovery to rule or drool. Everyone complaining about the loud music. I was sitting here like, why is there no music? Only Discovery. I muted it. Oops. Hey, Mountains. Good to see you, Mountains of Elysium. Good to see you. Out for a walk. Cool. Enjoy the walk. We are walking with you, Mountains. Check out one of Donnie's latest YouTube vids. Hey, Anna. Good to see you, Anna. Anna from Switzerland. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, an early stream. Oh, I love that Kurleth, and he's having one made. Or are you really? That's pretty interesting. Dorn hasn't lost a step, says Captain Robert April. Oh yeah, thanks guys. Please, yeah. PJ's been permanently kicked off of Twitter for being I don't know why. Well, actually I do. It's because I used that GIF, a ninja GIF. Sorry for all you GIF guys. For all you GIFers, I will say GIF. I'm still, it's gonna be a while, actually. It looks like it's gonna be a while to get until it gets fixed. So if you guys share it out, I appreciate it. So listen, how many heads would you like to cut off? Worf is a wolf now, still a good fighter regardless. He's a wolf. He's a wuss. I'm actually not sitting in front of a green screen, Don, to be honest. It's just I couldn't fit. I had a green screen, but I actually took it off because I'm not using the green screen right now. Anyway, oh, actually, you just made me think of something, John. Let me see if this works better. Hold on one sec. You just gave me an idea. Let me see if this works. I can't do this now. Okay. All right, forget it. All right. So yeah, Black Aura on me all the time. I don't think Worf and Raffi would really get along well, but they want to force it. I wonder. That's interesting comment. That's an interesting comment, Bird. I wonder if Bird is right. It's not a shadow person. You're just Armis. I knew it. How did Hillbilly get that ship? All right. So guys, I want to. Oh shit! Damn, you guys are way behind. Hey, Deej, good to see you, Deej. All right, guys. Adega Outlaw, author and science fiction doctor and science fiction author. I don't even know what I'm saying. Dr. Adega Outlaw is in the house. So I just wanted to say for the record, guys, that three strikes you're out doesn't necessarily mean I don't mean by that I'm dissing Terry Terry Trek. No, I just thought it'd be a funny title for today. But listen, before we talk about it, I want to see what you guys think before I give my 2 cents on it. Okay, so I've seen it once, and I wanted to see it again today before streaming, but I haven't been able to. And so I wanted to see it again, but I've only seen it once. Um, what did you guys rate this episode for from 1 to 10? Let's just start right there. Would you guys rate this episode from 1 to 10 or 0 to 10? Um, it's the third episode we're talking about of season 3 of Picard, and it's the third episode, and it's all right. So it's probably a lot of people. There's a lot of I have a lot of mixed feelings about it myself. There's good, and there's I see things that are that could be better. But in general, it was good. It was a good experience. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Hey, Philip Gaming. Mike gives it a 1. Oh shit. Terry Metal's Black Bird of Prey 5. No way. That must be a mistake. I would imagine maybe with the amount of that I would imagine that the amount of people that are reacting to Picard right now. I would imagine. I wonder if Terry's even. I wonder if Terry's the one blocking, or if he has an assistant, maybe just being a little over aggressive there. I don't know. Medallion gives it a 7 out of 10. Sci-Fi Mombi gives it a 7. Philip gives it an 8. John DeMarco gives it a 6. Are we out of plot lines so much we pulled a Carol Marcus? Eight-ish hard. Where's the Carol Marcus? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Beverly, right, is the Carol Marcus. 8-ish. Hard to fault the issues until I see how they play out down the line. That is a good comment, Archmage. There are things that may, and that comes up a lot. I've found that's come up a lot in stuff that Terry's done. There may be things that might seem like an issue now, but they won't. And then, which is also going to make this. I imagine that Picard season 3 will be a pretty good rewatch. Like, it's going to have a lot of rewatchability for a lot of reasons. That's my gut feeling. The 7 is purely on the plot reveal. Without that reveal, it would have been a 5 or something. I almost ready to drop this show, says Medallion. Interesting. So Medallion's hanging in there barely. Picard's a tactical fool, and no even Riker thinks so after the portal mistake. I gave it an 8.5 before I knew I was blocked. By the way, I do want to say this. There are several people who I know are not hostile to Terry who have been blocked. Some of them are even here in the chat. So I wonder why. I think there may be an overzealous assistant, perhaps, blocking people. Let's see. Clearly, the Hillbilly knew they would discover the leak and use it in an expected way and exploit the portal weaponry for that very reason. I like show now, says Sci-Fi Man. Hi again. Hey, Bill. Good to have you back. Thanks for hanging out. Who is Terry? Terry Metalis is the showrunner. He's a good guy. He's trying his darndest with season 3 to give us something. And I would, if anybody has been blocked by Terry, I would not take it personally, because I think that this is what happens when a few people go too far on social media, and it makes not everybody, you know, tried. I couldn't get blocked. You tried and couldn't get blocked. I wouldn't take it personally if Terry's blocked you. I don't think it. It may just be because you're in some thread and they blocked everybody in the thread or something. Riker's completely out of character at the end of the episode, unless they are going. You know, John, it's interesting you said that. I actually thought I liked the whole Picard Riker dynamic throughout the episode, and I think it falls apart toward the end. The Riker and Picard dynamic falls apart toward the end of this episode. I don't agree with some of the stuff that they were like saying to each other in public, in front of everybody. Yeah, I think that I know, Dr. Omega. I know you've been blocked again, right? You've been blocked again. So it's interesting. The fact, yeah, I get it. So I think, I wouldn't take it personally, guys, because some of you guys are being blocked. Probably should not. I would imagine should not be blocked. By the way, I see Transformers Spark episode 7 are out 7 to 11, 11/17. I haven't watched them. Oh, interesting. Well, thanks for sharing that, Bill. That's interesting. I'm not gonna tweet at Terry because I don't use Twitter anymore, but I comment enough on R&B's channels that chances are Terry may see it a lot. Yeah, you are an R&B's channel. That's right, Medallion. I see you there. With Discovery ending, are we gonna get to the Orville? Are we gonna get the Orville back? You know, am I frozen? Okay, that was weird. Yeah, Discovery apparently has been canceled, guys. You know, I'm sure there's people who enjoy working on Discovery, but apparently, apparently the higher ups made Discovery a really poor quality production from the beginning. It's not the actor's fault. It's not the people who are working on the sets. It's not the people who are doing this or that. It comes from high above, and the Discovery being canceled, of course, is inevitable because it's the quality is not there. So what can I say? I mean, the quality and to be honest, like some of the earlier seasons of Discovery were just downright an insult to Gene Roddenberry, to be honest, and to the fans in many ways. One major plot hole: if they were going after Jack Crusher because he's linked to Picard, then why don't they focus on their target once they actually find Picard? Says Philip. Blacks on social media equals at least one lost viewer. Not a smart marketing move, as the last 5 years or so would show. Have taught the whole industry. No. Listen. There's plenty of people I could have blocked. I don't block anybody. I just it's not the best policy. But there again, I do repeat, people have to be better to each other online. I really do say that. I think it's important that we, I think it's important how people treat each other. Obviously in person, but online, I think people forget a lot of times. I also think that the medium of this medium of communication lends itself to lots of misinterpretations and sometimes you can't tell people's tones from stuff. So there's a lot. I think people need to give each other the benefit of the doubt. Picard knew she had the weapon, so why would Picard conveniently forget the weapon exists in his tactical plan of attack? I hear you. Robert Mark Burnett is greater than Terry. Changed my mind. I also saw a trailer for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. It's animated Nickelodeon. So, interesting. That's cool. Thanks, Bill. Very cool. Hey, Legends of the Brave Bard. Riker's the best part of season 3 so far, sadly. Yeah, well, he is. Yeah, he's a great part of season 3. I would give this episode 6.5. There are a few issues that bring the score down, but overall an enjoyable episode. Thank you, Mountains, for weighing in. Anybody else want to? Anybody who's popping in here, give us your thoughts from 0 to 10 on the on. And I'm back, says Kevin Robert, on this episode 3. By the way, just to reiterate again, 3 strikes, you're out. Doesn't mean I had a negative review of the episode, negative experience with the season or the episode. It was just a fun title. 9 out of 10 times a spoonful of sugar in Worf's tea. 9 out of 10 times the spoonful of sugar in Worf's tea for 17 seconds. Listen, I think there's really some really bright moments. Damn it, I'm really falling behind on this. If Riker and Picard are going to disagree, they wouldn't do it in front of the crew. Also, Picard being one to push for the attack seems off. There are several things that seem off, and there's several things that seem off in that whole sequence. There's stuff that seems off. Yep. There's stuff that seems off that with Picard and Riker at the end. Could it happen? I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I didn't see that scene. I'll defend the Riker thing the same way I defend the character of Worf saying, if you were another man, I'd kill you where you stand. People say things in anger. That's true. Yeah. So I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but something does seem a little bit off between Picard and Riker at the end. The entire episode, Riker Picard debating tactics on the bridge is cringe. That would never happen on the D or E. I do agree that Terry Matalas should take Alex Kurtzman's place as lead Star Trek showrunner, not just for the 20th century shows. He's back. Yes, he's back. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm back. I get it. Yeah, cancellation. If Paramount was producing both shows, maybe, but since one has nothing to do with the other, it all depends on the other factors. Disco actors and productions didn't help matters by becoming public about their views. Star Trek Disgracery was abysmal. Yeah, it's difficult to watch is an understatement. Let's just say it. Discovery was an abomination. It's pretty darn close. Some of the seasons are an abomination. Some of them are a very weak attempt to correct or fix, right? Yeah, Donnie's very forgiving. Donnie has a really good heart, and he's very open-minded. Listen, there's stuff about Discovery. There's stuff about Discovery that if it was done in a different way, listen, Discovery had the whole. It had a lot of potential, but there's so many mistakes done with the Discovery storyline. It's and forcing the protagonism of Michael Burnham of Mikey Spock in she's the whole thing with being part of Spock's family and she's a better Vulcan than Spock and she's it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just I thought it was just the 5-year curse why Discovery was ending. Likewise, books Mighty Morphin Starship. Hey, Dark Helmet, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Anybody who's popping in here, give us a 0 to 10 rating of the last episode. I think the Orville renewal is delayed because of the uncertainty of the future of Hulu and the restructuring going on at Disney headquarters by Iger. That's an interesting view, Dr. Omega, and I do think that that can play a role. I do think that can play a role. That's interesting, Dr. Omega. I do think that can all play a role in us finding more out about Orville. I do want to say this: there is some kind of movement. We're not exactly sure what it is. There is some kind of movement on Orville. It might just be like Seth's crew getting ready. On some level, getting stuff done, but who knows exactly what it is. But I do think there is some movement. With before pre getting greenlit, right, for anything. Some are too hard, some are too soft, says LDG. Discovery was pushed to 5 seasons out of spite. Keep in mind, totally. It's totally out of spite. Yeah. Yep. You didn't need 5. We didn't need 5 seasons. 5 seasons of Discovery. I think the portal weapon is a great analogy for New Trek. Everything you think we're going somewhere. Every time you think we're going somewhere, we're right back at the beginning again. That's interesting. That is an interesting way to see it. Yeah. Also don't know how I feel about changelings are back. I'm not crazy about the changelings. I guess it depends on how everything works out. Hey, Brandon, good to see you. You haven't missed anything. We are just starting up and have a lot of issues. Had a lot of issues. Utrecht has been clearly infused. Yeah, that's true. Which is, yeah. Well, yeah, in some ways good, some ways bad, right? About that influence. The new animated Transformers is a woke mess and has an Autobot contemplating fucking pronouns. Avoid that show. Really? Okay. Mike doesn't like it. Not just in ship designs, but in plot ideas. I see. I'd give it a 7.5. The writing is light years ahead of the previous seasons, but those 2 seasons still happened in the show, so that brings it down. Yeah. Be interesting. It would be interesting. Listen, imagine if seasons 1 and 2 didn't exist of Picard. And this is the first we would get. Imagine if season 3 of Picard was season 1 of Picard. I wonder what our reactions would be. I think our perception would be a little different. There's a lot of baggage. There's tons of baggage. I also think that guys, all right, I see. Let me just see let me talk a little bit of what I think. Thank you guys, everybody, for sharing your ideas. I think that I see good stuff. I see some very good stuff in episode 3. I also see there's a few things that don't quite jive, but in general, it's a good episode. It's one of that's certainly one of the best episodes New Trek has pumped out. All these 3 episodes are better than anything that has come before, and with New Trek, with these three episodes. I do think episodes 1 and 2 we're doing a lot of setting up. That's why I think it would have been good to see episodes 1 and 2 together, like they did at the premiere. I also think that I do see Terry is really dealing with a lot of he's dealing with a lot of stuff. He has to deal with a lot of stuff in order to make this fit into the universe, this previous storyline that they've created. I also think that he's also, even though he doesn't control the season, he's also working with maybe a couple writers and a couple other people who were previously on board from other seasons. Then there's the Rafi character. It's not. I would very much like to see Terry be completely in charge, so he could completely be free of some of the BS or some of the people doesn't, from previous season. So they might be working with. Well, Peach doesn't have to worry about being blocked. Twitter already did that. Yes, thank you, Deej. I blocked off from everybody. Yep. It'll get fixed eventually. But anyone else feel sad that Worf is still alive as an old man? Is still alive as an old man? A Klingon should die in battle. Sad he hasn't had that honor yet. That's interesting. I don't think he's that old though. I don't think. See, that's a good point, Dr. Omega. I do think, listen, Picard is 100 years old, right? In this, I think he's supposed to be 100. I think in the future things are going to feel very different. I would imagine things would feel very different. So, um, I heard one reviewer, Dave Cullen, say episode 3 is the springboard, and season 3 really it's good after this episode, as he is, I believe, hostile to new track use. Yeah, there is definitely the people who have seen it. Although several people who have seen it have said that episode 4 is one of their favorite episodes. So I think there are. I think there's a lot of good things to come. I do think. Thank you, Mountains. I love the writing room with the Orville there. It's not that much different to Enterprises D. No, it has that kind of feel, right? With just an Orville twist to it, like the bluer lighting. But yeah, it does have that feel, right, Bill? I like it too. The only thing weird about it is that that's the table sometimes. Well, it depends where you're looking at it. Sometimes, if certain angles, some people say that the table looks like a coffin, but I don't think it does. I don't think it. It's just the way. I think Picard was feeling his mojo coming back, forgetting that the Titan A was most certainly not the Enterprise. Riker has been out of the saddle, hasn't been out of the saddle as long. I think they're in a really hard place, and I mean, and with that decision, I think they're in a very difficult situation, and turning to fight is, I don't know, maybe turning to fight is as viable option as any, because they're in such a difficult situation. I hated their redesign of the Klingons and STD. Oh my god, STD Klingons, time crystals. Jeez, oh my god, nightmares, Troy. Discovery is not totally going away. People forget that Strange New Worlds is a spinoff. Kinda, yeah, right. Dave Cullen is a flip flopper, yeah. I'm going to say something here. I wouldn't put. I know I've been very supportive of Terry, but I'm not. I don't. I mean, like, I value. Like, I value. The podcast guys are friends. They're good friends. Robert R. Burnett, I don't know him as well, but he, I consider him like a reliable source. But everybody has their certain like preferences and stuff that they're more open to, less open to. What I'm trying to say is I don't base what I think about anything. I on anybody else's really. It was nice to hear that they thought it was good, but I've been saying I actually thought that that Terry was going to be more influential in season 2. Of course, I was surprised that season 2 Picard was the way it was. I thought Terry would have more to do with it. I had a lot of faith in Terry since 12 Monkeys, to be honest. I give it a 5 tops, a star comment. What 5-year curse? TUC lasted 3, Enterprise 4. Okay. Dave Cullen tried to say he champions the Orville and Horizons, but stopped reviewing it because it's probably got too woke for him. That's true. By the way, I disagree. I felt like I was defending the Orville on some channels and in some chat rooms during season 3. I don't think season 3 was that woke. I don't think it was woke. I think the Orville is very well balanced, to be honest. I think there was a change. There was definitely a change from season 1 and 2 to 3. There are some changes, even though the spirit is the same. But some people's perception of wokeness in Orville season 3 is I think is just wrong, to be honest. I think a lot of people have like literally have PTSD from some of the crap they've been through with Trek. So I think that's influencing their perception when they're watching Orville. Some people. I'm not going to be shocked if Disney leaves Florida. Oh, that'd be. I don't even. I mean, the amount of infrastructure that Disney World has, like, wow, that's quite the statement, Sci-Fi Mombi. That is quite the statement. Um, Spite money must be nice. Spite money, yeah. For season 5 Discovery, that would be insanely expensive to do. Yeah, that would be. Everyone wants to make more Orville. It's a numbers game at this point. There will be more Orville, guys. There will definitely be more Orville. It will come in one form or another, one length or another, as far as the season. And I do think that the Orville, thank you. Yeah, the Orville does respect its fans. Hey, Alan. Good to see you, Alan. Thanks for hanging out. If the Sanctus has his way. I don't think DeSantis wants the Disney to leave. I don't think he. I think he's. I mean, listen. The advantages that the Disney brand has had in Florida for decades, you know, has been more than half a century, has been mind-boggling. The advantages that they've had, no other companies have that. I mean, not many companies have those advantages. Star Trek. Yeah, that's true too. Star Trek had a lot of new Trek forced on it. They straight up said that they're basically outsourcing ship design from ideas from Star Trek. So, because the shows are too lazy to make their own. That's true. I watched the first episode of this, and it is no different than the last 2 seasons. I have not watched or will watch the rest of it, Brandon says. Fun fact, Alex Kurtzman was executive producer in a Transformers show, Transformers Prime, even though Kurtzman isn't that great. Yeah, but that did not have you. There is using a what if as a reason to justify a bad show. Let me catch up with the chat here, guys. Yeah, I don't think Worf is that old. I don't think he's that old. The Ultimate Timeline Frontier there, the Voyages, these are the Voyages, Time Ship Aeon. I am not up. Hello, Jill. Good to see you, Jill. Anti-derivative Jill. Make sure you guys are putting in your channels, guys, by the way. Restore the proper lighting, remove 25%, restore exploration. Yeah, listen, that's interesting. The topic of exploration. I felt season 3 of the Orville was excellent. I know you're talking about Star Trek here, but I do think that Trek and Orville. I do think there has to be a good component of exploration in them, and I would imagine. I think season 3 of the Orville, for example, was really establishing its the Orville universe, and because in 3 seasons they've done a lot that like other franchises have had multiple seasons to do, and they've done a lot in 3 seasons. I do think that the Orville universe has been very well established in season 3, and I do think that exploration is probably on the books for season 4. And exploration should be a part of Trek too. The problem is that with the poor writing that a lot of new Trek has had, there's just so much room to do damage. Picard is in his 90s. Worf is probably in his mid 60s. Yeah, I think he's not. I think he's not too bad. Klingons live to 200, 250. Do they? Are you sure, Deej? I didn't think it was that much. Well, let's ask Bird of Prey. He's the expert. Or Troy. I know. I don't know, Deej. Are you sure about that? Ron Moore. Ron Moore would be good. Um, it's tough to gauge Klingon lifespan since they keep killing each other. That is a good point, Captain. Fuck time crystals, absolutely. Fuck time Klingon time crystals. What the fuck is that about? Yeah, who came up with that stupid idea? I suspect that some reviewers who received early access to season 3 have consequently viewed the season more favorably than they might have otherwise. I also wonder, John. Yeah, I also wonder if their binge experience of watching season 3 made it different. If the binge experience is different, that's an interesting point, Don. Hey, Kai, motherfucking sexy Kai. What's up, Kai? Don't forget to put in your channels, guys. Kai's got a late night show. Put in your channel, Kai, please. We grow together, guys. I want everybody, please, guys. We grow together. Please put in your channels. If you have a wrench, it's to be used. Wrenches are meant to be used for putting in your channels or a friend's channels. So don't forget, guys. Put in your channels. Or I don't care, your social media, your OnlyFans. Go ahead, Deej. Put in your OnlyFans. Let people know. Come out of the closet, Deej. Put your OnlyFans in there. Hey, Mr. Lundell. Good to see you, Mr. Lundell. Based on the title of this stream, I'm thinking you're disappointed. I know some people were saying that. I'm not disappointed. I do think I'm not disappointed. I like the episode. I haven't rated it yet. I would rate this episode probably at I would rate this, dude. There's some things I really liked about this episode, like a lot. And then I see some things that are incongruent to me. It's really weird. And I think it's indicative of Terry perhaps having to work with a writer or two that has, I don't know. We need, like, our Star Trek has always had, really competent writers. That may be the issue of having to work. So if this episode, except for, because of a few things I saw in this episode, otherwise I would rate it higher. I would rate it somewhere between 7.5 and 8. But there's some things I really liked about this episode. I just thought it was a funny title. 3 strikes, you're out, Mr. Lundell. Fun fact: 12 Monkeys TV series had a large structure in it called Titan, and now Metalis has a Titan. Where was the Titan? What was Titan, Bill Barkley? Because I love 12 Monkeys. What is Titan? I don't remember Titan. Was Titan the name of the facility? Or one of those 2 bases that they had, like the secret base or the other base? I didn't make it past episode 3 of season 2, so this season has already achieved more than that one since I will watch episode 4 of this season. I still hate it, though, just for different reasons. Gotcha, anti-derivative Jill. Monkey Matt Productions. Interesting. Terry had essentially total control over the season. He even got in some jabs at the past couple seasons and got away with it because nobody higher up cared. Yeah, but he's still having to work in a certain framework. It's pretty much him. Sorry, my bad on the 5-year curse. That was simply a speculation on my part. I don't know the reason why Dave stopped reviewing the Orville during season 3, but it seems like a likely reason. There was a few people, Dalian. There's some people who felt like that, and I think people overreacted to the. I think a lot of people overreacted to Ed Mercer, the Ed Mercer on Krill moments with the abortion issue. I think a lot of people overreacted. I know some people who stopped watching season 3 after that, and they missed out on a lot, to be honest. I know what Bird says. well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Bird's. I don't think. I'm not so sure Bird thinks there's not going to be a season 4 now. Disney not leaving Florida, moving Walt Disney World would be, yeah, it's. I think it's too much, right? The only place Disney World is going is Chapter 11. Disney can't leave Florida. Where's it going to go? I hope we get season 4 of the Orville instead of movies, but I'll be happy with whatever we get as long as they get back to exploring the galaxy instead of turning it on itself again. Yeah, I think there's going to be there's definitely going to be exploration in season 4. I think that's the obvious. It was interesting. Remember, because they were at like those pyramids. What episode was it? It was at the beginning of that episode. I forget which episode it was in season 3. There were kind of like these like pyramid-like structures, and you kind of felt like they were exploring something, and then the episode took a different direction. But I think that I think it's inevitable that Disney Orville go back to exploration. Yeah, they're not the only show in town. Jill's channel, guys, make sure you're subbed to Jill. Hey, Restart Point, I'm a minority. Good to have you with us. I'm in a minority here, but I'm not taking Picard anywhere near as much as most. Lots of reasons. Maybe it improves, but I don't have the luxury of having seen all the episodes like a lot of people seem to. Okay, my friend. Thank you for everybody. Please put in. Everybody is all your input is welcome here, guys. Everybody put in their 2 cents. I can see why some people like it more, but the problems that existed in previous seasons still exist in abundance in this latest season of Picard. Yeah, there's for the viewers who watched season 1 and 2, there's a lot of baggage. Maybe if people haven't watched season 1 and 2, that might be different. I don't know. I get people focused more on story, but the overall world feels just too much of the same dark, cynical new Trek as always, says Medallion. Like Playmates Star Trek ship models with lights and sounds. Will anyone ever do anything similar with an Orville model? Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great. I would imagine all that's coming. It's interesting that there's not more Orville stuff out there. I mean, Seth could have definitely done it. I think it's coming. I think he was just focusing on establishing the fandom from the grassroots up. Hey, Admiral Teague. Congrats on that 100, man. Congrats, Admiral Teague, on that 100. You deserve it. Go ahead and put in your channel, Admiral Teague, and everybody else. Please do so. Orville C3 seems to be what Seth wanted in the first place. I'm thinking he had to insert the comedy in it to get Fox to pay attention. Yeah, perhaps that was hopefully we'll be able to ask Seth someday. Hopefully one time we will have him on. Who knows? I don't mind Ron Moore's return to the Star Trek multiverse. That would be even more awesome, says Donnie. The Dahar Masters who appeared in DS9 were well over 100. Says Troy. Yeah, please put in your channels on. Hey, Pacific, good to see you. Pacific 414. Klingons prefer to die in battle than live a ripe old age. Let's be ripe old age. Yeah. By the way, I do want to remind everybody that, because I heard some chamomile tea moments. I do want to remind everybody that Worf was raised by human parents, guys, which could influence him. All right, Worf was raised by human parents. Then he wants to go explore his Klingon roots, like we see him in TNG, and he does that, and he becomes very involved. But as you get older in life, like there may be things from your childhood that I just want to say that even though genetically he's fully Klingon, there's a human side. We forget sometimes that there's a human side to Worf because of his parents, his biological parents, and his biological brother. I mean, his adopted brother, and not his biological parents, his adopted parents and his adopted brother. But Seth allows us to decide for ourselves, not to be preachy. I do think the Orville is very balanced. Yeah, I do think the Orville is very balanced. I do think Seth and the crew and Seth's team do allow people to decide for themselves. I don't think it's preachy. I think there's stuff presented, but I also think they're presented on it's interesting because I think there's a lot of stuff that's presented not just bilaterally like on two extremes, but I think there's like the way some of the way probably David A. Goodman and Brannon and Seth and the way that these guys are writing, some issues have like not just two sides to them, but like 3 or 4 different views and sides to them, perspectives, right? I think the writing on the Orville is fantastic. Very much honoring Gene Roddenberry, excuse me, and other previous Trek writers. Kang, core, and cloth all squared. I use for TNG. A video challenge on Kai's channel, guys. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you're subbed to Kai. I don't have an OnlyFans. Oh, you don't have an OnlyFans. Okay, Deej. We won't tell anybody. All right, he's not ready to come out of the closet about his OnlyFans. Okay, the day will come where Deej will have to. Deej will have to fess up to that OnlyFans channel he has. This season is essentially a 10-hour long. I would agree. It feels like a Trek movie. It does feel like a Trek movie. And not just because they're, it's older and they're after TNG. It does feel like a Trek movie. It really does. So, yeah, we're 30% into the Trek movie. So yeah, I would say it's early to decide. Terry Matalas seems to have been sending out full season links to lots of YouTubers, even ones that have dissed New Trek till now, like Nerdrotic, who is saying it's good. Yeah, I got to be completely honest. I respect all our friends who've seen it. I think that the fact that Gary likes it too, adds a lot of weight to it. I think that then again, let me say one more thing, guys, because even I actually think that season 3 overall is going to be liked in general by a lot of people. I also think that season 3, at the same time that it might be a very good season of Trek, or viewed by many. I also think that this is it just highlights and underlines the need for Secret Hideout to move on. Secret Hideout has to move on to something. Liz, we've been talking about it. There's all the baggage that Terry has to deal with, all the baggage from season 1 and 2 that Terry has to deal with. There's also baggage behind the scenes. Like there may be some kind of, even though Terry's had a lot of liberty in season 3, he may be forced to work with 1 or 2 things, and I know he's got being able to bring in his own people and his own stuff, but it's not the same thing as him being completely in charge. He might be 90% in charge, right? So listen, and if you're doing a TV show where you're getting 90% of what you want in Hollywood, it's probably it's a big deal already to get that much done. But anyway, I think one of the biggest problems with modern sci-fi was the success of BSG reboot. It did such a good job. You know, that's a really good point, Mountains. And the BSG reboot was done so well by by Moore, that unless you do it with that level of care and love, because what was very clear about BSG reboot was it was done with a lot of love. And listen, there's two gender swaps. There's two huge gender swaps in BSG of Boomer and Starbuck. I mean, those are huge, huge, like, decisions. Those are huge moves that not everybody can pull off, and they actually did a good job of pulling them off. So yeah, he set a very high bar. That's a very good analysis, Mountains. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. Yeah, DeSantis wants them not to groom. He doesn't want them gone. He just wants them not to do weird stuff that they're doing. Only feed account. Son of a bitch. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, yeah. I didn't think he. Terry brought in his own writers. None of the previous Morons were involved. I think that give me one sec, guys. I think that one sec, sorry. All right. Okay. Let's see. I would love to get as many subs as possible, so I a big time YouTuber when I interview Mega Tex on Friday. I existed before Picard. I don't see how Terry could have brought in his own writers. No, there's I think there's a couple of writers from before. It's a cheap cop out that it's a 10-hour movie, so we have to wait and see, even if it's true. You don't want to be judged for your episodes. It's really don't really know that way. Yeah, I'm wondering too. I'm wondering too if the Jill. I'm wondering too if the. So I'm wondering if the what do you call it? The I'm wondering too if the binge experience is very different. Orville's excellent all around, says John. Maybe some minor reshoots. Only few because Bird of Prey gave me free. Okay, I've seen 2 episodes. That's all that's been done. My honest opinion, it's a generous sprinkling. Give me one sec, guys. All right, sorry. Domino was good, says Jill, for season 3 of the Orville. I don't think we'd get Orville movies. Oh, interesting. Orville movies. Somehow I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think we'd just get like, it would be like a longer episode. Like I don't think. Yeah, the Star Trek movies. The Star Trek movies are definitely have a different tone, right, than the episodes. it returns, it's either another season. Oh, I see what you're saying. If it returns, it's either another season or like a comic. Tale of Two Topaz. Got okay. Thanks, John. Season 3 is C. I get softer about season 3 of the Orville at times just because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, well, I think I remember Jill not liking season 3 so much. I loved in the Orville how they all got excited over first contact. I missed that. Yeah, that was a really nice moment. Exactly, Dr. Mega. That was a really nice moment where they got all excited about that first contact. There was a little magic there. There was a little magic there. There's some real magic in season 2 of the Orville. There really is. Disney's not the only show, but it's a show that runs nearly everything. Without Admiral Ted Danson, there is no Orville. Oh yes, Admiral Ted. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you. Tom Costantino is always flexing his super detailed Orville model on Instagram. Yeah, he is. He is. Hey, Jim Henry, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I only watched the first 2 episodes of Picard season 3. So far, it's okay. Let us know what you think about season episode 3. Pacific. Sorry, not watching SDP3. No money for Paramount from me. Let me just say, it's also people are also watching it on Apple. If anybody has Apple TV, just so you guys know. Some people are also watching it. What is it? In some other combo, I forget what it was. Or you could do what Jill's doing. Hey, Stephanie, Captain Robert and Stephanie in here, sailing the high seas. Well, yes, Worf is not a typical Klingon. Worf is a Klingon as I am Italian. I am Italian by lineage, but then grew up in Italy speaking Italian. That's an interesting analogy, Troy. I miss the standalone sandbox episodes of classic Trek. Yeah, you do sometimes, and that's where the Orville does it so well, isn't it, John? You'd probably enjoy Strange New Worlds. I'm not crazy about Strange New Worlds. How could I ever forget that was one of the times I actually like Pulaski? Oh, I know, right? I got to tell you, episode you watch Picard season 1 and 2 and like you start missing Pulaski big time. Some would consider this minor, but Worf listening to the opera from First Contact and drinking chamomile seems off for his character. Should be Klingon opera and prune juice. Yeah, it was interesting. He was listening to what Picard was listening to in First Contact. So far, yeah, I don't know. See, I'm okay so far with what I see with Worf. I'm okay with it. I think it was who was it? Bird was making a point at the beginning. I wonder if the Rafi Worf thing seems a little forced. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think we're going to have a very different view of everything we're seeing by the end of the season. So I think we're going to have to watch the whole thing to fully judge it, guys. That's my opinion. I saw a video someone put together of Amanda Plummer in an episode of Outer Limits where she's got a portal and uses it to go. I heard about this to go and kill people, and they try to connect that to Vatic somehow. I heard something about that. Interesting, Barkley. Thank you, Bill. I don't know. By the way, I hope Barkley shows up. I hope Dwight Schultz. I have a feeling. All right, let me say this. I have a reason to think that that we are going to get Dwight Schultz as Barkley. I have a reason to think that it's not a big secret. Like if we're gonna get Moriarty, there is a chance we could get Barkley because Barkley was involved in that. So I don't have OnlyFans. I have an ordinary fans. The movie homages are a bit too on the nose, but that's why the constant shouting of member berries. What do you guys? Let me ask you guys this question. How do you guys feel about the member berries? I think in general they've been very positive. I think that the member berries we've seen with New Trek until now have been in poor taste. What do you guys feel about? How do you guys feel about the member berries in season 3? I'm thinking they're good. And I do have an issue with STP using ships from Star Trek Online. It's the only past time there was more unity in licenses in the mainline show. Now, if the mainline show could unify it with itself. It doesn't feel like a Trek movie to me. It's dark as Blade Runner and dystopic as Dark Matter. That is not Trek, says Mr. Lindell. I like to be honest, but we are having a good time. LDG, you're you can be diplomatic. You can say something in a diplomatic way. I want everybody to share their thoughts. This is truly missing the decade of. This is truly the missing decade of pop culture. Interesting. Hey, Prophet, good to see you. Can't stay as I hate Picard. Just giving you an upvote. Thanks, my friend. Thank you, Time Prophet, for jumping in and saying hi. Appreciate it. Anybody see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie trailer? Bill Barkley's talking about. Those YouTubers got to binge most of the whole show. We have to wait week to week and just speculate on what is shown so far. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. So that experience definitely has got to be different, right? It's interesting. Think about Karate Kid. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai has dropped all the episodes, all at once and done very well. How would we view Cobra Kai if we waited if we had to wait a week? I think there are some shows that do benefit from the binge, from that binge drop at the beginning. Are some of them being too nice? I gotta say from the ones I know, I think they're genuine. I think they genuinely like it. The ones I know, they genuinely liked Picard. Could it be? Listen, I gotta say this. I was watching a lot of people talk about Star Wars the other day, and they were talking Kenobi. They were talking Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian. I watched Mandalorian. I want to do streaming Mando. I like the episode Mando, but sometimes it feels like we're so starved. What is it? Are we so starved for Star Trek and for Star Wars, for good Star Trek and for good Star Wars, that we lower the bar? Because I don't know. There's things about Mando that, and I love Favreau. There's things about Mando that I think that's for a Mando stream, but it was a good episode. The first one I saw, it was a good episode. Don't get me wrong, but and there's a lot of behind the scenes crap going on at Lucasfilm that is probably a freaking nightmare for Favreau. Thanks to Kennedy and it's got to be a nightmare. The whole behind the scenes stuff at Lucasfilm, it's got to be just a nightmare for Favreau and for Filoni. I don't think it feels like a Trek movie either. The storyline is too pessimistic. But so far it's a bit shrouded. If I hear another synth say if I hear another synth say, my mind to your mind. Starbuck and Apollo became call signs, and yes, they had a race and sex switching, but they did it with respect to the fans. They did do it with respect. Yeah, a great respect. I think the creatives in our group should start writing episode ideas for the Orville season 4, so we have some fanfic to have fun with to keep Universe alive. And season 4 doesn't come. Yeah, well, I think that we do have to review the comics. I'm going to sit I want to do it right. I haven't done it because there's a reason I haven't done them yet. I do want to do the Orville comics. I've talked a lot with David Gabessa and with David Gabessa, and sometimes he wasn't available, and sometimes I wasn't ready to do it. We're gonna do it eventually. There's a lot of good, cool Orville stuff in the comics. So yeah, but that's not a bad idea, Jim. And we need Orville fan films. My positronic matrix to your human spongy brain. Take care, Time Prophet. Thanks for hopping in here and saying hi. Boomer was hot. Starbuck was what? You didn't like Starbuck? Oh, Deej. Hey, Lady Q. Thank you for joining us, Lady Q. Deej, you didn't like Starbuck? Dude, what's wrong with you? No strikes. You just thought it was a funny title. Yeah, no strike. I'm like way behind, right? Hey, Joe Lau. Let me just say hi to everybody who's in here, and let me jump to the more recent. Let me catch up with the chat. Hey, Joe Lau. Good to see you, Joe Lau. Thank you for joining us. I don't want to miss anybody. Anybody else has come in here? Oh, you guys are talking about, yeah. So what about the member berries, guys? Yeah, we gotta check that. We gotta check that part 2 out, huh? I have a feeling it'll be decent, at least. That's my feeling on it. Have some fucking pride and don't watch Picard, says Kai. I know we might be getting Tasha in episode 5, says Bill. If you consider that plot reveal as a member, I'm very, very intrigued. Members are all the show has. Picard is walking, talking memberberry. I think they were trying to win us over with memberberries to distract from problems with the writing. My guess, well, my hope is that things are gonna improve with the coming episodes. I think Terry is fighting a great many things, including our prior. There's something, all right, in marketing. There's something called persuasion in marketing studies. Persuasion basically has to do with your opinions prior to being exposed to something. And the persuasion for Picard season 3 is absolutely the fucking worst. The worst case scenario that a showrunner could deal with. Having a disastrous seasons 1 and 2 to base your and not just seasons 1 and 2, but the disenfranchised, I would say, disenfranchised 60 to 70% of Trekkies. I mean, that's pretty fucking scary. Don't frack up my broccoli. If you have a compelling story where you actually care what the characters go through, no memories are needed. It would have been nice they wrote an original story and characters that there is as good as anything past Trek did that rely. Hey, remember these guys? I like Dwight Schultz. Yeah, Dwight Schultz is great. Season 3 of Picard should be a binge. You know, I'm beginning to think that it should be too, Medallion. That's why I'm bringing it up so much. Now, at the same time, it could be a really good rewatch, a really good binge rewatch. But yeah, waiting week to week is costing viewers. Thank you for dropping by, Jill. Thank you, my friend. You stopped watching Cobra Kai, Joe. You didn't like it? I guess Joe didn't like it completely. Kai. Kai has spoken. That we should not be watching season 3, says Kai. I will comment more on Mando when you do your Mando stream. Yeah, Mando. I don't know. I just, it was, I just feel like there's Star Wars, and I was talking to Gary Ambrosia about this a couple times, and he said it on Doomcock panel too. It was when you're watching Star Wars, it just like, George Lucas had us. He really had this in the palm of his hand, in many ways. And I don't know. Mando, to me, Mando feels a little lost. Like the story feels a little lost. I don't know. And I think it could be. Listen, there's a lot of problems with Mando. And I'll save this. Why don't we just say this? First of all, the fact that you're going to put out another season that's just another short season. The episodes are not that long. The season is 8 episodes. I mean, really, Disney could do better. Really, really could do better. And when they have like then they had Kenobi, and they did a lot of Kenobi's PTSD didn't make any sense. It was, anyway, all right. Chamomile tea. I haven't had chamomile tea in a while. Hey, PD, skip my other chats that have some fucking have some fucking pride, proper perspective. What did they say? What did you say? Well, I'm not sure. Let's see. And so you guys are chatting. Honestly, those flashbacks help. I don't remember most of the movies anymore. It's a bit too self-referential, like the way that old cast keep getting literally described as legends in the show, like the writers are pandering to TNG fans. Yeah. Yeah, member berries on their own are not enough. There needs to be true connective tissue. There's some really, there's some really good. The season 3 still has a lot of potential. We got to see where it goes. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. And of course, member berries on their own are no good. No, PJ said that they were out. I do not have Netflix, so I did not see the final season. Okay. You have someone like Shaw who doesn't give a fuck about their legendary status. That's true. Either people are too busy tearing down a legend or talking up a legend status. They told us the previous season that had not happened yet. There is more continuity to seasons 1 and 2 than there is to TNG. Guys, this is Mr. Lundell's channel. Hey, CBS Spock, CB Spock. Yes, renew the Orville. Thank you for joining us, friend. Forget Picard season 3. Hey, Professor Brainy Specs, good to see you, my friend. Yes, renew the Orville now. Just stacking Cobra Kai up to binge it all. Oh, stacking it up to binge it all at once. All right, guys. Well, I am going to have to wrap this up today. I want to go a little bit longer, but I can't. I want to thank everybody for being in here, guys. Disney Paramount said dropping shows at 3 a.m. Eastern time cuts all of America out of prime time. What would be so wrong with dropping the show at? Yeah, right. Well, yeah. I think there might still be more in store for Cobra Kai down the road, even though this might be the final season, by the way. I don't mind member berries, to be honest. Says Donnie, the studio interference on Mando is absolutely apparent and is affecting. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's exactly the way I feel about Medallion. That is exactly the way I feel. Grogu. Bill Favreau says there is no end game for Mando and can go on basically forever. And that is hugely worrying. Interesting. Favreau says there's no end game for Mando. I guess not, right? I don't mean this is anything against Terry, but people treat him as a second coming. He didn't create something new. He's literally just polishing a turd. This has come up before. I think there's several things going on here. I think Trekkies are so hungry for good Trek, so thirsty for good Trek. I also think that a lot of our friends who saw season 3 prior were probably really adamant about helping Terry get the good word out. I think they've done. I do think so. There's two things going on here. I think that it's very important that some of those YouTubers put in a good word, saying this deserves a chance. At the same time, I think that the hype doesn't benefit the viewing experience. The over the top hype doesn't. So I would. Then again, like, you got to realize that the thing is too that if those people have seen 10 episodes and they think that 10 episodes are pretty good, some of them think it's fantastic. I would imagine it would be hard to keep your mouth shut if you thought it was fantastic. So I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Dr. Omega. Watching Picard supporting Paramount is like rewarding an abusive husband because he started opening doors for you after he smacks you around. What the fuck is up with people watching Picard? Says Kai. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't see that before, Kai. I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, well, the Doomcock is a very similar argument to that. And of course, what I want to be very clear that supporting or saying that Terry has done a good job or a decent job with when season 3 is all done and over with, is one thing, and supporting Paramount, Secret Hideout is another. Secret Hideout obviously needs to go. Secret Hideout is a parasite that has been responsible for great disrespect to Gene Roddenberry and to Trekkies. You've heard people like Alex Kurtzman say, well, if you've isolated half your audience, and then that means we've done our job or whatever. That's crazy talk. And by the way, it's not half, it's 2/3. It's approximately 2/3 of the audience. 2/3 of Trekkies do not like New Trek. It's more like 2/3. Also, you have people, I think it was like Shaban was saying stuff like, they basically wrote stuff to piss people off. What is that? Why would you do that? Really? Why would you do that? You're taking, the irony is that probably the most inclusive sci-fi show, I would dare say not even sci-fi, one of the most inclusive shows in television history, which is TOS, with Star Trek, it does not need to be. You do not need to be preaching to that audience, because the people who love that that people, fans of Star Trek, love inclusivity, and to be preaching that to Star Trek fans is absolutely ridiculous. So, well, guys, I'm going to have to wrap up here. But I want to say thank you to everybody. And not inclusive enough, I know, right? Thank you guys for joining me. I gotta wrap up. But I want to thank everybody. Hey, Ranker Steve, good to see you. All you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back. We will be back shortly. Thank you.